She was a devoted mother, a skilled veterinary technician, and by all accounts, a woman with a bright future ahead. But on the morning of October 13, 2021, Christina Parcell's life came to a brutal and mysterious end. Inside her home in Greer, South Carolina, authorities made a chilling discovery: her body, stabbed multiple times, carefully arranged, and surrounded by rose petals. A crime so deliberate, so unsettling, that investigators would soon uncover a tangled web of betrayal, obsession, and conspiracy. Who would want Christina dead? Was this a crime of passion, revenge, or something far more sinister? And what dark secrets were hidden beneath the surface of this seemingly ordinary life? This is the story of deception, manipulation, and a murder that shocked an entire community. Christina Parcell was a 41-year-old veterinary technician living in Greer, South Carolina. She was known for her love of animals, her dedication to her work, and most importantly, for being a mother to her young daughter. But on October 13, 2021, her life came to a violent and tragic end. Authorities arrived at her home that morning to find a gruesome scene. Christina had been brutally stabbed multiple times. Her body was discovered in an unsettling display, surrounded by rose petals. It was a crime that shocked the quiet town and quickly gained media attention for its disturbing nature. The details of her murder were chilling, but even more unsettling was the complex web of relationships and conflicts that investigators would soon uncover. At the center of the case was a heated custody battle between Christina and her ex-boyfriend, John Mello. Their disputes had escalated in the months leading up to her death, drawing the attention of law enforcement. But Mello wasn't the only person connected to Christina in a troubling way. There was also Zachary Hughes, a Juilliard-trained pianist with an unexpected role in this case, one that would take the investigation in a shocking direction. As detectives worked to piece together what had happened, they uncovered a story of betrayal, obsession, and hidden motives. The deeper they looked, the more tangled the truth became. What began as a brutal murder investigation soon turned into something far more complex, one that would reveal dark secrets, unexpected twists, and a search for justice that was only just beginning. To understand the tragic end of Christina Parcell, we must first delve into the intricate tapestry of her life, a life marked by professional dedication, personal relationships, and escalating conflicts that would ultimately intertwine in unforeseen and devastating ways. Christina Parcell was a 41-year-old veterinary technician residing in Greer, South Carolina. Her passion for animal care was evident to all who knew her. Colleagues and clients alike admired her commitment to her work, where she often went above and beyond to ensure the well-being of her patients. Beyond her professional life, Christina was a devoted mother to her young daughter, striving to provide a nurturing environment amidst the challenges life presented. Central to Christina's personal life was her relationship with John Mello, a 64-year-old music producer and the father of her child. Their partnership, once filled with promise, deteriorated over time, leading to a contentious custody battle that grew increasingly acrimonious. The disputes over their daughter's welfare became a focal point of tension, casting long shadows over their interactions. Amidst this turmoil, another figure emerged, Zachary Hughes, a Juilliard-trained pianist known for his musical prowess. Hughes shared a close friendship with Mello, a bond that would soon have significant implications. Their relationship extended beyond mere camaraderie; it involved coordinated actions that would escalate the existing tensions. As the custody dispute intensified, Christina became the target of a series of harassing incidents. In April 2021, Mello instructed Hughes via encrypted messages to harass the S out of her, providing Christina's private number to facilitate this unsettling directive. The harassment escalated to a disturbing level when explicit photographs of Christina were disseminated to her neighbors, an act designed to humiliate and discredit her within her community. These actions were not isolated. Evidence indicates that between October 8 and October 13, 2021, Mello and Hughes exchanged numerous messages, suggesting a deepening conspiracy. The content of these communications hinted at a plot that extended beyond mere harassment, foreshadowing the tragic events that would soon unfold. During this period, Christina found solace in her relationship with her fiancé, Bradley Post. Together, they envisioned a future filled with hope and stability. However, the external pressures from the custody battle and the relentless harassment began to erode the sense of security they sought to build. The convergence of these strained relationships, legal battles, and malicious actions created a volatile environment. Christina, once a pillar of strength and compassion, found herself ensnared in a web of deceit and malevolence. The stage was set for a tragedy that would not only claim her life but also unravel the lives of those connected to her. On the morning of October 13, 2021, the tranquility of Greer, South Carolina, was shattered by a discovery that would haunt the community. Shortly after 11 a.m., Bradley Post, fiancé to 41-year-old veterinary technician Christina Parcell, returned to their shared home. As he crossed the threshold, an unsettling silence greeted him, a stark contrast to the usual warmth and liveliness that Christina brought to their abode. Venturing further into the residence, Bradley's search led him to the front living room. There, he was met with a scene of unimaginable horror. Christina lay unresponsive, surrounded by a large pool of blood. Her body bore the marks of a violent assault, with multiple stab wounds inflicted with a ferocity that spoke of deep-seated rage. Scattered around her were rose petals, meticulously placed, adding a macabre touch to the already gruesome tableau. In a state of shock, Bradley immediately contacted emergency services. The responding officers, upon arrival, were struck by the brutality of the crime. The deliberate arrangement of the rose petals suggested a level of premeditation and personal connection, raising questions about the killer's motives and relationship to Christina. As investigators began their meticulous examination of the crime scene, crucial pieces of evidence started to emerge. Surveillance footage from a doorbell camera in the neighborhood captured a figure entering the Parcell residence on the day of the murder. This individual was later identified as Zachary Hughes, a 29-year-old Juilliard-trained pianist with ties to Christina's past. Further forensic analysis revealed DNA evidence under Christina's fingernails, conclusively linking Hughes to the scene. The combination of the disturbing crime scene, the symbolic use of rose petals, and the tangible evidence pointing towards Zachary Hughes set the stage for an intricate investigation. Authorities were now tasked with unraveling the complex web of relationships and motives that led to this heinous act, seeking justice for a life so brutally cut short. In the immediate aftermath of Christina Parcell's brutal murder on October 13, 2021, law enforcement agencies in Greer, South Carolina, mobilized swiftly to uncover the truth behind the heinous act that had shaken their community to its core. The initial breakthrough in the case came from a neighbor's doorbell camera, which had inadvertently captured crucial footage. The video revealed a figure approaching and entering the Parcell residence on the day of the murder. Upon closer examination, investigators identified the individual as Zachary David Hughes, a 29-year-old Juilliard-trained pianist known for his exceptional talent in close association with John Mello, Christina's ex-partner. Armed with this visual evidence, authorities sought to establish a more concrete link between Hughes and the crime scene. Forensic teams conducted a meticulous examination of Christina's residence, during which they discovered DNA evidence under her fingernails. Laboratory analysis confirmed that this genetic material matched Hughes, placing him at the scene during the commission of the crime. Confronted with the mounting evidence, Hughes was taken into custody. During intensive interrogation sessions, he made a startling confession. Hughes admitted to stabbing Christina Parcell multiple times, but his justification for the act added a complex layer to the case. He claimed that his actions were driven by a desire to protect Christina's young daughter from alleged sexual abuse, a serious accusation that, upon thorough investigation, lacked credible supporting evidence. Given the absence of substantiating proof, Circuit Court Judge Patrick Fant III ruled that any discussion of these abuse allegations would be inadmissible during the trial, focusing the proceedings solely on the facts surrounding the murder. As the investigation delved deeper, another disturbing facet emerged. Hughes disclosed that John Mello, the father of Christina's child and his close friend, had solicited him to carry out the murder. According to Hughes, Mello had offered a sum of up to $10,000 as compensation for the act. While Hughes asserted that he declined the monetary offer, he proceeded with the crime, allegedly motivated by the unverified belief concerning the child's welfare. In light of this revelation, John Mello was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder and harassment. Investigators uncovered evidence suggesting that, prior to the homicide, Mello and Hughes had engaged in a campaign of intimidation against Christina. This included the dissemination of explicit photographs of her to neighbors and local establishments, a malicious attempt to tarnish her reputation and exert psychological pressure. The case took another unexpected turn when, during the course of the investigation, authorities examined electronic devices belonging to Bradley Eugene Post, Christina's fiancé. Disturbingly, they discovered child sexual abuse material, leading to Post's arrest on multiple counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. Notably, law enforcement clarified that these charges were unrelated to Christina's murder, yet they added another layer of complexity to the already convoluted narrative. The intricate web of relationships, allegations, and criminal activities surrounding the murder of Christina Parcell presented a formidable challenge to investigators and prosecutors alike. As the legal proceedings advanced, the community remained gripped by the unfolding drama, eager for justice to be served and for the full truth to emerge from the shadows. The brutal murder of Christina Parcell in October 2021 sent shockwaves through the community of Greer, South Carolina. As the legal proceedings unfolded, the courtroom became the stage for a complex and emotionally charged trial that sought to bring justice to a life tragically cut short. Zachary David Hughes, a 29-year-old Juilliard-trained pianist, stood accused of the heinous crime. The prosecution presented a compelling case, meticulously detailing the events leading up to the murder. Surveillance footage had captured Hughes entering Christina's residence on the day of the crime, and forensic analysis revealed his DNA under her fingernails, indicating a violent struggle. In a surprising move, Hughes took the stand in his own defense. He confessed to the act of stabbing Christina but claimed his actions were driven by a belief that he was protecting her young daughter from alleged sexual abuse. This assertion, however, was met with skepticism. Circuit Court Judge Patrick Fant III ruled that, due to a lack of credible evidence supporting these allegations, any discussion of the purported abuse would be inadmissible in court. The prosecution, led by Solicitor Walt Wilkins, emphasized the brutality and premeditation of the crime. They portrayed Hughes' defense as a baseless attempt to justify an indefensible act. Wilkins argued that if Hughes genuinely believed a child was in danger, there were lawful avenues to report such concerns, rather than resorting to murder. After deliberation, the jury found Hughes guilty of murder. Judge Fant sentenced him to life in prison, reflecting the severity of the crime and the profound impact on the victim's family and the community. The trial also cast a spotlight on John Mello, Christina's ex-partner and the father of her child. Testimonies revealed a tumultuous relationship between Mello and Christina, marked by a contentious custody battle. Hughes testified that Mello had solicited him to commit the murder, allegedly offering up to $10,000 for the act. While Hughes claimed he declined the monetary offer, this revelation led to Mello's arrest on charges of conspiracy to commit murder and harassment. As of now, Mello awaits trial. The community watches closely, grappling with the unsettling notion that a father could be implicated in such a grievous act against the mother of his child. In a separate but related development, Bradley Post, Christina's fiancé at the time of her death, faced his own legal challenges. During the investigation into Christina's murder, authorities discovered child sexual abuse material on Post's electronic devices. Consequently, he was arrested and charged with multiple counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. These charges are distinct from the murder case but have further complicated the narrative surrounding Christina's life and relationships. The convergence of these events has left the Greer community in a state of shock and introspection. The tragic loss of Christina Parcell, coupled with the subsequent legal revelations involving those closest to her, has prompted discussions about trust, betrayal, and the hidden complexities within personal relationships. As the legal processes continue, the community remains hopeful that justice will prevail, providing some measure of closure to those affected by this multifaceted tragedy. The tragic murder of Christina Parcell serves as a stark reminder of how personal vendettas, when left unchecked, can escalate into irreversible acts of violence. At the heart of this case lies a web of strained relationships and misplaced trust, culminating in a crime that has left a community grappling with profound questions. Central to this tragedy is the contentious custody battle between Christina Parcell and her ex-boyfriend, John Mello, over their young daughter. Such disputes, inherently charged with emotion, can sometimes lead individuals to take drastic measures. In this instance, the animosity between Parcell and Mello appears to have created an environment where resentment festered, potentially influencing the actions of those around them. Enter Zachary Hughes, a Juilliard-trained pianist with no prior connection to Parcell. His involvement, as he claimed, stemmed from a belief that Parcell was harming her own child, a belief he asserted was based on information from Mello. Acting on this unverified claim, Hughes took the law into his own hands, leading to the brutal murder of Parcell. This sequence of events underscores the perilous consequences of acting on unfounded allegations without due process. False accusations, particularly those as severe as child abuse, can have devastating effects. Not only do they tarnish reputations, but they can also incite individuals to commit acts they might otherwise never consider. In this case, Hughes' acceptance of the allegations without seeking legal avenues or concrete evidence led him down a path of irreversible violence. This highlights the critical importance of relying on established legal processes to address such serious claims. The legal system is designed to impartially investigate and adjudicate allegations, ensuring that justice is served based on evidence rather than emotion or hearsay. When individuals bypass this system, as Hughes did, the results can be catastrophic. This case serves as a poignant reminder of the necessity of due process and the dangers inherent in taking the law into one's own hands. Trust, when misplaced or exploited, can become a weapon. Hughes' trust in Mello's assertions, without seeking verification, not only led to a heinous crime but also implicated Mello in a conspiracy to commit murder. This misuse of trust underscores the need for critical evaluation of information, especially when it pertains to serious accusations that can irrevocably alter lives. Despite the convictions, several questions linger. What were the true motives behind the crime? Was Hughes solely driven by a misguided sense of justice, or were there other influences at play? How did the dynamics of the relationships between Parcell, Mello, and Hughes culminate in such a tragic outcome? These unresolved queries continue to haunt those seeking a comprehensive understanding of the case. This tragedy extends beyond the individuals directly involved, prompting a broader societal reflection. It calls attention to the responsibilities we bear when making accusations, the imperative of adhering to legal channels, and the profound impact that personal vendettas can have when they spiral out of control. As the community of Greer, South Carolina, and beyond grapple with the aftermath, this case serves as a somber lesson on the complexities of human relationships and the dire consequences of circumventing justice. The case of Christina Parcell is one of betrayal, manipulation, and a tragic descent into violence. What began as a contentious custody battle spiraled into a brutal murder, revealing the devastating consequences of unchecked personal vendettas and misplaced trust. A talented veterinary technician, a loving mother, her life was stolen in a crime that shocked an entire community. Zachary Hughes now serves a life sentence for the murder he claimed was an act of protection. John Mello, accused of conspiring to have Christina killed, awaits his day in court. And Bradley Post, the man Christina planned to marry, faces his own legal battles on disturbing, unrelated charges. 3 men, once central to Christina's life, are now entangled in legal turmoil, each raising deeper questions about trust, deception, and justice. What do you think led to this tragic ending? Could Christina's murder have been prevented? And how do we, as a society, ensure that justice is truly served without allowing personal vendettas to dictate life or death decisions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. In our next documentary, we dive into another chilling case hidden beneath layers of lies and deception. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss it. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who follow true crime. Your engagement helps bring these important cases to light and keeps the conversation going. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, the truth always finds its way to the surface.